Oh my God, man, 9 months, huh? 9 months after heartbreak, and it's such an interesting thing to feel so open, so happy, so connected, so grounded, feeling more faith and trust in my process compared to when I had separated from her. I chose to leave the relationship in November. Man, just the night and day. I was in a dark night of the soul for months of depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, and just like completely just lost and not wanting to live. And it was just such a dark time of my life. And to see that this process was actually for me, right? Like all the things that popped up around my wounding, right? My trauma when I broke up with her was being transmuted over the past 9 months. And I chose to really be celibate. And I just want to share a little bit of insight around, if you go celibate, it really helps and jumpstarts the process for your healing. To really seal, this is what this spiritual practice does. It's a spiritual practice. It's an energy practice. You stop giving away your energy and you start to really bring that energy back. You let this sexual energy start to build in your system, and this energy can start to purify you. This is more of like a mysticism way of thinking about things. But this has been written in many scrolls and texts back in the day of what this energy can do. And it's been helping me transmute my pain, helping me transmute my trauma. And it's like allowing my being to kind of unfold and flourish like a flower. It's been a very beautiful experience. So if you've been thinking about going celibate, especially you've been coming out of a really intense relationship, I would really go for it. And now I know why a lot of women go celibate after like dating a whole bunch of assholes. Like, I get it, women. But I've gotten to the point where, I decided a while back, 2 months ago, after I had reconnected with her and just saw that just this level of just using me still, the way that I was used in the relationship, and these ways of manipulation and just not being honest. I was done, and I saw just so much disrespect towards the end and the way how she moved. And there's a saying that really feels true. All the good times feel completely erased because of the level of disrespect that happened towards the end of the relationship or after the relationship. And that's how I feel right now. So I realized, like, not out of spite, not out of anger, but out of pure self-respect and pure protection of my own energy, I want nothing to do with them, because they don't serve me. They take my energy, right? And we're in this life to expand, right? To become expansive, to be the biggest and best version of ourselves. And there's certain individuals that just don't allow that, right? They take you in the opposite direction. And it's really interesting because she's part of communities that I'm in, and so now it's just like this practice of like, I don't even acknowledge their existence anymore. It's just like they have no respect for me. I don't have any trust in them, so I really don't owe them anything. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but when there's such a level of disrespect, such a level of pain without acknowledgement, like, you don't owe that person anything. And I'll kind of move on from that topic, but lately I've had this realization in my relationships that I totally lose myself. Like, my partner becomes my world, and that comes from a very deep traumatic experience as a boy, right? Of like not having a emotionally available mother, right? Or a neglectful mother. And not to say they're doing it on purpose, maybe they're really stressed out, X, Y, and Z, not making the mother wrong. But when a boy doesn't get the love from his mother that he needs, he ends up romantically obsessing over a woman, and vice versa. If he didn't have the affection of your father as a woman, as a little girl, you start to romanticize men. So what that means is when I get in relationships, I don't have a life outside of my relationship. I don't have hobbies. I don't have discipline. I don't have purpose. I don't have anything outside of my relationship. So when I end up going into the relationship and there's a breakup, there's such of like an emptiness to my life, right? Because I gave everything, right? There's like, I gave the relationship all my energy. And so I realized that, and that's why after the relationship, I felt so drained. I felt like nothing was inside of me. So I've took it upon myself to start building my life and to start to create a life that feels fulfilling. And I think a lot of people can really relate to that, right? It's like I've been going to the gym consistently. I have for the past 3 years, but I've really been focusing on the gym. And I put on like 15 pounds of muscle. I got like super strong, and I'm like hitting all these PRs, and I'm like building a, you know, a good body, and then people are noticing. Starting to hang out with friends more, and I'm going to more events, right? I'm creating more videos. Like I'm just starting to do these things that like I just genuinely enjoy. And I think that's like an act of self-love, right? And yeah, I realize, you know, as a man, it's important to have your life kind of like already in order. So when you are getting into a relationship, right, you're not having to create it, like everything is already in order, right? The woman can see the life that you're living, and you already have things set up that you generally enjoy, like passion, purpose, and connection, and hobbies. And that's something that I've lacked, and I'm like really proud to say that I'm like creating that right now. And you know, this relationship has taught me a lot about how much energy I give people when they don't deserve it. So it's been interesting to integrate that lesson of like after the relationship, I was like, wow, like I was not being reciprocated. I wasn't being committed to, you know, for 1.5 years. And I'm like, whoa, like that's a long time to give someone my full heart when they're not being committed to me. I got to like really start to like, oh, where else am I doing this? And I got to really see friendships, and you know, I let some people go, and just to see how some people were just disrespecting me, especially after the breakup, and just kind of like having hard boundaries with people around like, hey, some of this is not okay, and like bringing the energy back and protecting my energy. It's like, yeah, that's the integration. And end up getting a job where I just don't really feel appreciated and just really invisible at this job, so I'm letting it go. So this is like all integration, right? It's like I want to be respected, I want to be acknowledged, I want, you know, to have some energy that feels reciprocated. So yeah, it's been an interesting energy to integrate, and it feels good. I feel like just more self-respect, and I feel more confident in myself, and just, yeah, it feels nice. And you know, it's been 8-9 months around, you know, being single. So there's been a lot of, you know, being celibate, there's been a lot of temptation. A lot of opportunities have presented itself, but I, you know, well, that's also part of the integration. It's like, hey, when I'm in partnerships, I'm always like leaving my energy and giving my partner all this energy. And it's like, I can feel God saying like, hey, now's the time to bring that energy back to yourself. Like, be single for a while. And I'm glad that I've stayed single, and it's been helping me really heal. But now I'm getting to a place of like, hey, it's been 9 months and I'm feeling good. I'm not saying I'm going to jump into a relationship, but you know, there's been a lot of you know, flirtation. Just like talking to women more, and just trying to get more in the groove of just putting myself out there, and just being more open to, you know, connection. And I haven't explored anything, but just being more flirtatious, you know, which feels nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this heartbreak stuff, like it can be challenging, and yeah, I think the celibacy really did help, and just the mere fact of me just opening up to friends about what I was going through really helped as well, and just finding things that genuinely make me happy is very supportive, like dance, working out, making videos, and just having more fun. I think that was some really big healing process for me, just learning how to have more fun, more balance in my life, and it's really been helpful. So hopefully this video helps any other individuals out there that are going through heartbreak, and just to kind of share that things will get better if you choose to lean into feeling those emotions and getting help and support and starting to build your life back up and doing the things that you enjoy to do. Like that definitely helps. And that's not to say that, you know, the waves still come. You know, even though I'm feeling a lot better, I'm not thinking about her as much anymore, which feels nice because she took up such real estate in my head for this past 9 months. The waves still come, and the waves are a lot chiller now, right? You know, the waves of sadness, the waves of grief, and this may go on for, you know, however many years, or maybe the rest of my life. You know, obviously with more space in between, but I think I've just learned to accept the things that I'm feeling, which really helps, not trying to resist, and allow the emotions as they flow through my system to really teach me what I need to learn, because my emotions are my teachers, right? They are inner compass, they're our inner guide. Well, that feels like a good place to close. So you guys have a blessed day.